Hello, hello, hello. I'm SYNOLVE. I'm your host. How are you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome to the royal family. Yes, welcome, kings and queens. Welcome, 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 welcome. Get your drink. Do what you got to do. Put whatever you want to in your cup, honey. I recommend water, but put it whatever you tea, whatever you need to do. Juice, smoothie, honey. I got water. Yeah. Mm, do what you got to do. Put whatever you need to do in your cup, honey. I hope y'all are blessed, babies. I hope y'all are having an amazing, awesome day. What we're going to talk about, do we have a black agenda? Look, honey, we're going to be talking about, do we need a black agenda? And should that agenda include investing in Africa? As we look around the country and what's going on around the continent, around the world, what's going on, we look at how we're treated as African Americans, how we're treated in the African diaspora, wherever you may be throughout the world. We look at George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor. We just look at how we're treated on the job every day, how we're treated walking down the street when we go in stores. And, I contend that one of the reasons that and one of the problems why we in the African diaspora do not get the respect, right, and the honor that we deserve, including the African, continent, that we as Africans, that we as African Americans, as people of the African diaspora, as children of Africa, we don't get the respect and the honor that we deserve because we are not united. We're not united. We don't speak as one voice. We don't walk as one united, and we don't have a plan. Look, we do not stand together on the big issues for the most part. And I was, happy when the African Union here recently, after the unfortunate murder of George Floyd, how they spoke out on behalf of African Americans and African diaspora. And especially African Americans in our fight and what we're going through, to have the African Union stand with us, yes, was an amazing thing. And then the president of Ghana spoke. So many things, wonderful things happened. The African Union, so many wonderful things happened. One of the dignitaries, officials of the African of Ghana spoke and said, "Look, if y'all ain't being treated right, come on back home." What? And so us standing together, 54 nations, and then plus the African diaspora throughout the world, that is a powerful force. And if we stand together on the big issues and on the small issues, then other countries, other nations, the European Union, the EU, Europeans, the British, Germany, French, the France, the UK, if we stand together, the Dutch, all these different colonizers, if we all stand together, then they can't just run over us, right? They can't just do whatever it is they want to do. Another problem that I see is that, we are so loyal to others and we don't even have a plan for ourselves. And so a house divided cannot stand. What is our plan? What is our plan? What's our agenda, our plan as Black America, as the children of Africa, as the African diaspora? Right? What's the plan? And if you are a child of Africa and you know that you're a child of Africa, does your plan include the continent, the motherland? Does it include Africa? Look, come on, join up, come on in this conversation. Let me know. Tell me. I hear people say, I'm not going, they're not going back to Africa. They ain't never been, they're not interested. All this stuff. Cool. Look, I know everybody ain't going. I know everybody's not going to have that agenda. I know everybody, is not going to go. I know the ancestors didn't even call everybody. So I'm good with that. I'm cool with that. Negativity on anyone else, but I get that you're not going, and I'm okay with that, right? Cool, right? Bless be wherever you are, whatever your plan is, whatever your agenda is. Blessings, and I get that. I understand that. What I really I'm getting at is, back to what I said, and that's a house divided cannot stand. So even here in America, we as African Americans in having the weight of we as African Americans, when people are trying to, we're in the middle of voting, when people are trying to get our vote, we're us standing together and not so being, not so much standing to be loyal behind a particular party, but being loyal to our issues that are happening to us in Black America, issues that are happening to us throughout the Black, throughout the African diaspora, issues that are happening to us throughout, the motherland, the continent. So what does that look like? What does it mean? I mean, hey, it looks like this, us being informed, number one, being informed and knowing what's going on at home and abroad. So that means, wherever you are in your country, the UK, Canada, France, wherever you may be, the United States, knowing what the international policy is towards Africa or towards areas where there are large numbers or numbers of African American or people of the African diaspora, people of African descent. What does that look like? So we need to care about what's going on in Haiti. We need to care about what's going on in the Caribbean. We need to care about what's going on with Black people in the UK. How are they being treated? How are brothers and sisters being treated over across the water? How are people in America, Black people, right, of African descent, how are they being treated? Are we getting the gains, the wins? How are we being treated in terms of our economy, in terms of the economy and wages, right? And as consumers, what are we doing? Are we saving our money? Are we investing? What are we doing? We all need to join and unite as one big family. And so when we do that, we can make strides. We can make a difference. But as long as we're segmented, it's the Caribbeans over here doing this, and it's the people in the UK over here, Black people doing this, and we don't know what one hand is doing, another hand is doing. We don't have a plan. We don't have an agenda. When you start looking at the numbers, and I talk about this in another video, so I'm going to link that video below or link it above in iCard so y'all can see it. When you start talking about the numbers, 1 billion, 2 billion on the continent of Africa, and then you add to it the numbers is 22 million alone in the African diaspora. You start adding all these numbers of Haiti and, Caribbean and Spanish, Black Spanish people of African descent. You start adding these numbers all around the globe. Look, it's impressive, and we are a strong force to be reckoned with. But what happens is we're not united. We don't have an agenda, right? We don't know what's going on over with our Black Hispanic brothers and sisters. We don't know what's going on. So we are divided. We don't know what's going on. So this is the time, a house divided cannot stand. This is the time to get a plan and to unite. And that plan most certainly should include investing in Africa. That plan should include Africa, because when Africa rises, and we all rise. When Africa rises, we all rise. When African Americans in United States rise, then we all should rise. We ought to be pulling up, picking up, taking each other up together and to rise. That's how we move forward. And so, you may look at me like, what do you mean? All right, well, hey, what does it look like? It looks like when the Jewish communities or Chinese communities, when they go over to another country, and they go over to a country in Africa, they stick together. They create Chinatown, like it's a China mall in Ghana, right? I mean, they create in America Chinatown. They have Chinese restaurants. They live together. They live in the same communities. When the Hispanics come, when they move to America, to other countries, to start Hispanic Mexican restaurants start, popping up. Their cuisine, their restaurants start popping up. When Indians, from India, Pakistan, all of these other nations, when they start migrating and going to other countries, the US. For example, in Dearborn, there's a huge Indian group or base there, and they are forced to be reckoned with in terms of voting and in terms of shaping the elections in Michigan. Like they're a force to be reckoned with, and that's what we should be. Here in America, especially specifically, we are so diverse and we have or so dispersed. That's the word I wanted to use. We've been so dispersed and been heart set, heavy set on integrating within the majority culture, right? With the Muzungus, we have been so worried about, from Dr. King. This is a throwback from Dr. King era of integrating and segregating and going into places, the busing, going with education and going into areas where, Muzungus live. And so going into those areas and building a house, being able to shop where we want to shop, even though we're going to be followed, all the stuff, that we do, that we really have left behind, the huge things and the huge gains. Like, for example, here in Memphis, we had black, Bill Street was black years ago, many years ago. And so we lost it. All the black businesses, all the gains, right, from the 60s that we had prior to segregation, or desegregation, I should say. Prior to that, before the civil rights movement, if I can get it out, before the civil rights movement, it was nothing for you to get your clothes made by a black tailor or a suit made by a black tailor, to go get your shoes shined by a black person who shined their shoes. It was nothing for black people to go to a black grocery store, or their shops and grocers, and to buy jewelry and all of that stuff, to buy black. That was the norm. And we have to get back to that, to have a black agenda that includes our money. You know what I'm saying? It includes the way we eat, the foods that we eat. It includes protecting our heritage and our culture, all those things. Why? Because if we have it includes a political agenda, understanding politics, knowing who the face of the politicians are, and then really deciding, right? Deciding who we're going to vote for, and coming together as a group and voting in large numbers and being unified and connected and having a pulse and an understanding of the issues that impact us and the issues that are going to push us forward. And so moving in unison, moving in step, being connected, having an agenda. That's all I'm saying. Having an agenda, being connected, moving in step. When one brother does something, another brother is able to do it, right? And so we just keep moving in step right behind each other, and we just keep growing and growing and growing and growing. And that is what needs to happen here, where I am in America, where you are, and where you are throughout the diaspora, African diaspora, as well as on the continent. We all need to be moving, and we need to rise together and pull each other up and rise together, helping each other, creating Black areas where for us to live and to grow and to be healthy and abundant, to be educated, schools where we can be educate our children, where they ain't got to cut their hair, honey. We understand Black hair. In fact, not only do we understand it, we got a little oil sheen, and some Black products in there. You need some slick down, honey, get them baby hairs laid. You come on to my desk, have some Vaseline here, I can rub you down. You got a little ash going, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Well, we walk in step. You need food, you need clothes. We're walking in spirit, soul. We know what the needs are in our communities. We're walking in step. And not only that, we're walking in step so much that when a sister or brother starts their business, we're the first to invest. In fact, we know when the business is going to be launched. We know when the business is going to come out. We already know. We know it's going to happen. And so we're walking in step to hit it, to get it, to already be at the launch, to already pre-buy, to already pre-order, to already get it, you know what I'm saying? And support them and help them to rise, because when they rise, then if they need pens, they need pencils, or they need paper, they need printer, or they need, PR services, you can come to me, you know what I'm saying? You need media, social media services, you come to me. Those things, we know who to go to. We already got already. You need spiritual help, spiritual guidance. You know who to go to within the community, who's going to help you rise. You know where to go to. Like my husband has an MBA. You know you can go to him and he can help you get your plan together, get your business together. You can get your strategy together and understand what you're gonna, what you're gonna do, where you're gonna have a plan of where you're gonna be in 5 years, what you want to do. Moving, we're just moving. We're moving in silence, we're moving, kind of in secret, but we're moving in sync and we're moving together. With one rise, when I have a video out, y'all come support me. When you gotta be, YouTubers, we get in sync. And when you're having a video out and you're going live and I'm over supporting you. We got to work together. We got to have a plan. And then, so we get this, get ourselves together financially, spiritually, our food, nutritionists, who are, I was just reading a report today, and it was saying that Black babies survive better because there was a high infant mortality rate in the US. And so Black babies survive at a higher rate when they're cared for by Black doctors and nurses. And this is the truth. When our community comes together to rise and to support each other, we all thrive. We all feel this love and this support, and we all feel this community and connectedness that we need to feel. Yeah, and connectedness is a word, honey. We need feel all this connectedness that we need to feel. We're connecting, and the ancestors are there, and they're supporting us and loving us because we have finally arrived mentally, right? Emotionally and spiritually. We are mature enough to handle what we need to handle. We're mature enough to lay aside all the weights that are keeping us, all the beefs, all the silliness that keeps us divided and apart. And we're finally able to rise and to work together and push for an agenda that supports everyone and that uplifts us all, right? Not one trying to uplift over the other, not one thinking that we're better than the other one, or them folks need to be, whatever the case may be, whatever, you're thinking. But we're looking at people and judging their politics, judging people by their character, right? By their character, not what's in their pockets, not by any other things, but how they work and treat each other. Because, everybody can't be a part of the agenda, and I get that. But as you're making these plans and you're getting your agenda together, remember that part of your agenda is also on the continent, right? And we can talk more about that in another discussion, because on the continent of Africa, there is so much wealth to be had that we have not even tapped the fullness of its potential. For example, there's in Ghana, for example, there's cocoa. In Kenya and several other countries, there's I think Burundi, several other countries, there's coffee. There is so many minerals and untapped resources. And so instead of us going to Hershey getting this chocolate, because Hershey is going to Ghana and all these other countries in Africa and getting their chocolate. We should be on the continent resourcing these products, resourcing these investments and these opportunities so that we can create products that we can bring back to the African diaspora and to the world so that we can rise, so we can uplift, right, all of our people throughout the African diaspora on the continent of Africa, wherever you are, over in the UK or Spain or France or Canada or the Caribbean, Haiti, wherever you may be, Jamaica, and the US, And we're just rising, honey. We're rising. We are now the kings and queens that we've been called to be. We're the kings and queens that the ancestors have already called forth through us. And so that's what we'll talk about, right? Just want to lay out to you. Do you have an agenda? Do we have a Black agenda? Do you have a family agenda? Do you have a family plan? Do we have a Black agenda? And does that Black agenda not only include just us here in our little sect of the world, not just in African Americans in America, but also, or not just Brits or Africans in Britain or wherever you may be throughout the world. I ain't calling nobody out because I'm part of the African diaspora myself. But does it also include the continent and the riches and the amazing things that our brothers and sisters are already doing on the continent, and how we can work together to do this thing, right? And work together to unify and to make it better for everyone. Because when one wins, we all win. All right. So we strong, y'all. We strong, we strong, we strong, we strong, we strong. And so thank you for joining this conversation. Do what you got to do, honey. Come on. Do all the rituals that you must perform, honey. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the video. Share the video with a friend. Share it with somebody, and so we can get this Black agenda going. So we can get our plans working. So we can get the honor and the respect, honey, as kings and queens that we are due. All right. I love you guys so much. I love you so much. I love you so much. All right, guys. Y'all have a wonderful day. You are amazing. You're blessed. You're wonderful. You're beautiful. You are a king, honey. You are a queen. Yes, baby. Honey, you are special. You are amazing. You want to know why? Honey, baby. Honey, just because you are. I love you so much. Respect. I love you so much. I wouldn't be here doing this if I didn't love you, honey. I love you, and I'm going to see you in the next video. All right? Bye-bye, guys. Get your plan together, honey. Get your plan together, and let that plan, part of that plan, be Africa. Because if you invest in Africa, Africa will invest in you. Love you guys. Bye.